Hi everyone, today's video is going to be a tutorial, and it's one that I had requested a while ago, and I'm sorry I didn't make it sooner. But it is going to be a blue spotlight eye tutorial. I used this look, I don't know, a couple months, no, not a couple months, like less than a month ago, and someone requested me do a look, kind of show y'all how I made it, so I'm going to go ahead and do that today. I am using the Kat Von D Mi Vida Loca palette for this look. Now, I am very aware that this palette is no longer available, and I do not recommend that you spend like $200 buying it secondhand because this palette is already 2 years old. So I'm not trying to say that you have to use this palette. When I made this original look, I actually used like 6 or 7 different palettes. I just feel like doing that in a tutorial would be really confusing, and I don't want you to feel like you have to use exactly what I'm using. Some alternatives that you could probably get this look out. We have this Take Me to Brazil palette. This palette is not near as good as quality, I'm not going to lie. But, you know, it's got the colors. You can use multiple palettes. And you can also do this style of eye look with different colors. So, I hope that all makes sense to you. I don't want you to feel pressured. Like, I don't have the Kat Von D Mi Vida Loca. I can't make this look. Because you can. So, let's just get started. I also am going to, besides the Kat Von D Mi Vida Loca, I'm going to be using a bunch of my Project Pan items. So I'm going to go ahead and start with this Milani Shadow Eyes Cream Shadow. This is in the shade 01 Winter White. It is in my 25 Days of Christmas. What do you call it? Project Pan. Sorry. There you go. Still a little early. Still have my coffee. I bought, y'all, this was stupid. I love Gloria Jean's Hazelnut Coffee. I've talked about that before. It's the only coffee I drink in the K-Cups. I was out, and I haven't ordered, but I bought this Starbucks caramel, because I thought, well, maybe that'll be good, too. It's gross. It tastes like spiked coffee. But look at my mug. Life is better with a dachshund. Yeah, it's not very good. Not very good at all. So, anyway, now we're going to take this Chella Ivory Lace Highlighter, which is in my Thankful for Makeup project pan. And I'll show y'all. I just kind of put it here and there. And then we got to blend. You can just blend with your finger. It blends really nicely, honestly. So, there we go. And then I like to put it in my inner corner. And kind of along my lower lash line. Y'all see right there? Because I do have little creases down there, and so it's hard for shadow to stick. So if I put this base down, it helps. And then I'm going to put it under in that waterline. So, ooh, I got a lash in my eye. There we go. So that is that, and now let's go ahead and start with our blending shade. I really love this tapered blending brush by Beau Gauchis. They're not clean. I was really good about washing my brushes, and then of course, before I do a video, I don't. I'm gonna go. You know, Noble and Strutter are really similar. This one is Strutter, and this one is Noble. They're very similar shades. I'm gonna go into Strutter. It's slightly more cool toned, and since we are using blue, it makes sense to me. So, and I'm just gonna kind of buff that into the crease. I use this is going to be my transition shade. So, yeah. So pretty. I love this palette, y'all. I know that everyone talks about it and they act like it's like the world's greatest palette. And I'm sure people that don't have it are sick of hearing about that. But it is really good. It just is. This is another palette. This is the Stila Eyes Are the Window Body palette. You could probably use a couple of these shades and make the same look. Just saying, even though this palette is not the best. And then we'll take this little guy. This is by Coastal Scents. It's a dual-ended brush. I really like this pencil brush to kind of, I'm going to go back into that same shade, Strutter. And I'm just going to go under this little lash line. Beautiful. there we go. So yeah. Now, I want like a, I don't know, like a crease shade that's kind of neutral. I'm going to mix Vox and Moulder. So Vox is this deep brown and Moulder is this like yellowy shade. You could just use a light brown if you have one. I'm just going to try to stick to only using this palette. But I don't, like I said, this is a really good palette. Don't get me wrong. I love it. But I just can't imagine paying like $200 or $300. I don't know if it's gone up to $300. That might be dramatic. For a palette that you know is a couple of years old, especially right now when this like huge. I'm going in with this tapered blending brush and going a little more into the crease, kind of deepening it up. Like this whole like. I think it's exploded overnight, this YouTube trend of, oh shit, there we go, oh, let's see how old all of our makeup is. And I get that. I don't know how I feel about all that, honestly. Like, I understand that that's important, and obviously you don't want to use old makeup, but at the same time, if it's not breaking you out or bothering you and it's still working right, I don't know. Oh, we gotta blend this, guys. One of the things about Kat Von D matte shadows, they're beautiful, but they take a little bit of effort to blend. They're not one of those shadows where it's like, oh, it just blends on its own. And of course, on camera, it never looks as blended out as it does in real life, which drives me insane, because I like a really diffused, blended look. And I don't want it to look like I don't know how to blend eyeshadow, because I do, kind of. I mean, I'm not like an expert. Obviously, I wish. Oh, I say that. I don't. Oh my gosh. Every time. So like something goes wrong. Not wrong. It never ends up exactly how you think it is. And that's okay. Just makeup. So we're just gonna keep on blending. This shade is a little darker than I wanted, even mixing in that Moulder. Which is what I'm doing right now. It's just a little deeper than what I was expecting, but that's okay. We'll make it work. And just really try not to get onto the lid. Just try to, you know, buff it up, not down. So, this whole choppy mess is not that way in person. Alright, now we're going to take this little guy is one of my oldest brushes and I love it. It's by Nika K. It's just one of these little, like, I don't know, like angled shadow brushes. And we're going to go into the shade Dark Wave, which is this like navy. It's really pretty. What do y'all think about this, everybody getting rid of half of their makeup because they think it's old? Like, I don't know. It's kind of my same thought with decluttering. We're going to put this on the, like, the outer bit and the inner bit. Like, I like it. I enjoy watching it. I find it quite entertaining. But I'm just not there. I don't know. I would rather get a lot of use out of my makeup. And I don't know, like, maybe this is going to sound really selfish. I would rather it go bad, but know that I've used it and enjoyed it, than give it away. And also, I don't really have makeup people in my life, honestly. But then, like, give it away and regret it later. I don't know. I just don't think I'm in that right mindset. It's like I was talking about in my video yesterday, where I ended my no-buy after 3 months. And, you know, I just wasn't in that mindset anymore. And I feel like, you know, with declutters or anything like that, project planning even, you just have to be in the right mindset. Look how pretty this shade is. I can't even. So, for me, I don't know. I'm not going to do that. Like, if you want to do it, cool. Like, please. More power to you. It's just not what I'm going to do. I like to use up makeup. But at the same token, like, I also don't buy makeup from, like, TJ Maxx or Big Lots or Dollar Tree. And if y'all are really concerned, like, that makeup is old. Like, there's a reason it's there. I'm just saying. I don't know. I don't get why people get so excited about finding things. I mean, I was like that for a while, where it was like, oh my gosh, this is on sale. I need to buy it. But it's like, you didn't want it before it was on sale, so why are you buying it now? I'm going to take this shade Synth now. This is probably my favorite shade in the palette. The Urban Decay Full Spectrum palette, though, has another shade like this. There's a lot of palettes like this palette. I could do a whole video on that. And we're going to just put this right in the middle. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like people, and I definitely did too. I'm not like trying to be hateful. But you know, you get into this mindset of, oh, I need more and more and more. And it's like, I get that. But wouldn't you rather have something that you actually wanted as opposed to getting like, as opposed to getting like 3 drugstore eyeshadow palettes because they were on sale? Wouldn't you rather have that like 1 drugstore eye palette that you actually wanted? I don't know. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Alright. And a lot of the manufacturing dates also, just so y'all know, are for when it's open, not for how long you've actually had it. Like, I'm not trying to be hateful. Like, I do enjoy watching those videos. I'm just saying, I'm just not going to do it. So, make sure you know, I like to have a blended look. And then, this is something that I didn't realize you had to do until recently. Take a small shade, a small little shadow brush. This is from the Urban Decay Electric palette. Go into a white. So I'm going to go into the shade Skulls right here, which I already have pan on. Yeah, because of my 13 by Halloween project pan. And then you just dab that right in the center. And that really finishes up. See? I have little bitty eyes. I wish I had bigger eyes, y'all. But you know, can't really fix that. I don't even know if they make plastics. Do they have plastic surgery for eye enlargement? I don't think so. That'd be nice. Like I could have normal sized eyes instead of these tiny little things. But there we go. Isn't that pretty? I like the way that looks. And then, oops, I'm dropping everything. I'm going to take this Vasanti. This is just like a big flat eyeshadow brush. I guess I'm going to go into the shade Moulder and put that in as my brow bone. This is a very yellow toned shade, which I don't love for my skin tone because I'm cool, neutral to cool, but if I had to choose, I'm definitely not warm. So again, we're just going to kind of do that. And then we're going to put on my primer real quick. Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer. It's in my Thankful for Makeup project pan as well. I'll link my whole project panning playlist down below in case you like those videos and you want to see it. Excuse me, you want to see them. I love project panning, y'all. I think it's so much fun. And I started this new thing recently, and I think it's going to help. Where on the weekends, I don't use project pan items because I love panning, but I worry because a lot of my other makeup I feel like gets ignored because I'm only panning, I don't know, let's say on a good day like 10% of my makeup collection. That's probably way dramatic. Like, so everything else that I'm not panning, I feel like it just sits there. So on the weekends, I make sure I don't use project pan items. And then once I'm like 1 month out from the date, I just make sure to not do that anymore. If that makes sense. I don't know. That's how I try to really sift through my makeup collection. There we go. Now we're going to do brows. I'm panning this Anastasia dip brow thing. Little sampler. This is a cool idea, except for the fact that they dry out. I'm using the shade Taupe today, which is not my shade really, but it's one of the ones that I have left that will work. All right. And this is the Brow Gal brush. I got it in a BoxyCharm. I don't know why I'm closing my eye, like I'm going on my lid. All right. I don't know how I feel about pomades. I feel like I can see how they'd be really helpful if you don't have naturally, like I don't have naturally thick brows, but I got some brow. But I can definitely see how they'd be really helpful if you don't, if you have really sparse brows naturally. But I feel like for us girls that have some brows, I'm not sure they're necessary. And maybe that's just because I'm not as, used to using them. There we go. That looks pretty good. I like a pencil. I just think pencils are easy and fast, and that's what I like. But, you do you. I'm just kind of pushing this in, getting it a little extreme, and then blending it out with a spoolie. I'm all about a spoolie now. And this is a really good spoolie, I think. There we go. Sometimes this pomade will get like way north of where I have put it. I don't want like pomade up on my forehead. Those are my eyebrows. Now we're going to take one of these little brushes. I think I dropped them both on the floor. Ugh. Sorry. These are from the Beauty Spot. I don't know. My grandmother got them for me and they're great. And we're going to put something on the lower lash line. I think I'm going to go back into that shade Synth, which is that really bright blue. And kind of blend it up on that lower lash line. I feel like that finishes out a look. I mean, if you don't want to do it, you don't have to. I'm just saying. I feel like it finishes out a look and kind of evens out your eye. You see, I feel like it almost brightens up your eye more and doesn't make it look as droopy. What do I know? I got a little fallout down there. So there we go. I really like a brightened inner corner. So I'm going to do that. Although I feel like with spotlight eyes, it's not really necessary. But I really like that look, so I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going back into that Skulls shade that we used previously in the middle. And the same Urban Decay electric palette brush. There. That just finishes up a look to me. So now we're going to use eyeliner. I'm using this IT Cosmetics No-Tug waterproof liner. This is so weird to me because it swatches so nicely. Let me put away this brow pomade while I'm thinking about it, or else it's just going to sit there and dry out. This eyeliner swatches so nicely, but then on the lid it kind of drags. So I don't really love it. And it's hard to get a small line because it is a retractable pencil. It's not a sharpenable one. But I try to just do it really thin. Again, because I do have smaller eyes. You can only see so much out. Like if my eyes are fully open, I feel like you don't get a lot of eyeshadow look anyway. So you don't want to see what little bit you can see and just fill it up with eyeliner. I like the set-in eyeliner. I'm going to use this Luxie Beauty eyeshadow brush. What is it called? Flat Definer in 221. I'm going into the shade Black Metal, which is just a matte black. And kind of setting that liner. There we go. Because it's just what I like to do. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do any of this. This is just how I do my makeup. And then we're going to take mascara. We're going to take the Urban Decay Troublemaker mascara. It's a new mascara. I'm going to do a review on this really soon. And there's going to be a giveaway with it. I'm really excited about it. Oh, and I always forget to say this. I always do my eyeshadow first, because then you don't really have to worry about fallout. I don't know. I heard that one time when I first started watching YouTube, and I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. So that's just what I always do. I don't, you know, if you don't want to do it that way, you don't have to, but you just might have to deal with fallout more. And obviously once you have your face makeup, fallout can be a little bit more of a pain. I like a lot of mascara. I like really voluminous lashes, honestly. Oh, and speaking of giveaways, y'all know I have one going on because I hit 1,000 subscribers, which just makes my whole life. Like, I was so excited. I wanted to do that this year, honestly. Like, that was kind of my goal, but I really didn't think it was going to happen, and it did, and I was really excited about it. So, thank y'all. So that's my eye look done. I'm going to keep going with my face, but if you just want to see the eye look, we're done with it. I really like the way it turned out, actually. Beautiful palette. I love it. If you have it, use it. But if you don't have it, there's a lot of other options, guys. There really, really is. And I feel like people act like that's not true. But it's just, it is true. So, I'm going to take this concealer, Physicians Formula Green Concealer, and I'm going to put this on a couple of my spots just to kind of color correct. I do have a lot of red, not a lot, but some redness in my skin. And if you put this down under your foundation, you're less likely to look like Alphaba from Wicked. Which, you know, I mean, if you're going for Alphaba, then cool. On a daily basis, that's not my look. So there we go. You see, I just kind of sloppily put it on. Now we're going to take this CoverGirl Clean Sensitive Skin Foundation. They've redone the packaging of this foundation, but I don't know if they've redone the formula. That's what happens when you have makeup that's kind of old. But it doesn't have a pump, so what I do is I just take a brush and dip it in. And just kind of paddle it on my face like that. It's got a good, I would say medium coverage. It's not a full coverage foundation to me. But it's a good medium coverage. And then I kind of put it where I want it to go. There we go. Wipe off that brush now that it's all gross. Okie dokie. And then we're going to take it. This is the Eco Tool sponge. I don't love this sponge. It feels, I don't know. I don't know if it's because like it's got really big pores, but it almost feels like a kitchen sponge. I'm looking at my viewfinder as my mirror because I feel like that's less annoying than holding up a mirror, but I know people get agitated when I don't look in the camera lens, so sorry. But yeah, it feels like more porous and not as like smooth and nice as a beauty blender. I don't love it, honestly. And it's breaking down. I actually just ordered a new sponge last night, so once I get that in, I'm gonna trash this one because it's like, it's getting rips and stuff, and I don't usually have that problem with sponges. Alright, it's a nice base. It is a really pretty foundation. It can look a little bit like makeup, just a little bit, but it's honestly, it's a good foundation, and nobody talks about it, but I like it. And now we're gonna go into some concealer. And I'm going to pull out a white eyeshadow. You don't have to use a white eyeshadow. I'm using this Too Faced Matte Eye Velveteen. You could use that Moulder shade that's in the Kat Von D Vida Loca palette. But I like to set my concealer with a white eyeshadow. What concealer are we going to use today? Let's use this one. Oh, no. I'm going to use another. Oh, yeah. Let's just do it. This is Kat Von D Locket Concealer in the shade L11. And I'm just going to lightly, like, just put a wincy bit and then a wincy bit right there. This isn't the most brightening shade for me, but it's a great color match. Like, it's very similar to my actual skin tone. So, it kind of covered. And then I'm going to take this Smashbox, like big fluffy brush, and put it in that white shade that I was talking about. And then I'm going to blend in this concealer. Which, like I said, this shade isn't the most brightening for me. I'm going to blend in that concealer and then set it. This creases. I've never had a concealer not crease, and maybe it's because I actually have little creases down there. I don't know. Let me know if y'all have like a concealer that you're like, nah, girl, it won't crease, it won't do anything bad. I love hearing product recommendations from y'all. I generally buy them. Because, you know, if y'all say it's good, I believe you. I try to blend nicely, though. Okie dokie. Another thing I like to do, I like to take, again, just take one of those flat brushes. It's that same one. I put it in a white shade or a shade close to your skin tone. And I just kind of clean up the edge of our look with that. I think it's a lot less harsh than using tape, but it still kind of cleans up that line. I have an itch. There we go. You see, I don't know, maybe you don't think it does, but I think it just cleans up that line really nicely. Sorry, my maintenance man is hippocampus. KNOL. Just say. Just say. Come here. Come here. Can you see mommy? Can you see mommy? Sorry. That's fine. In case y'all don't know, I have 2 dogs. That's why my channel is called Becky Loves Kanga. Okay. Okay, good puppies. So yeah. That's our base. I have discovered I don't really like cream face products, but I have them, so I want to get use out of them. I'm going to take this Model Co. Highlighting Trio. I'm going to take the bronze shade out of here and kind of use it as a cream bronze. Ooh. Use it as a cream bronzer. We're going to blend that, don't worry. I'm going to take my Tarte black brush and blend that out. I'm going to put a little bit on my nose without adding more product. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really feel like the cream does that much. Like, I don't feel like it helps it stay. I don't know. I just feel like it's a little unnecessary. I mean, I have it, so I'll use it. But once I use them all up, I don't think I would buy them again. Okay. It's much better blended than it looks on. I don't know. Oh, I guess it's because cameras can tell like the differences in color a lot better than you can like with your naked eye. But it also isn't great for tutorials. There we go. And now I'm going to take this little liquid highlighter by Gelee Pong. And just kind of, yeah. It's very metallic. And I'm going to take this foundation brush by Michael Marcus and use that to blend it. You could use your finger, but I feel like this brush really blends it nicely. Yeah. See, that's pretty. It's very glowy. I'm going to take a cream blush. This one in Pink Escape by Josei Maran, her Coconut Watercolor Cheek Gelee, and my e.l.f. Small Stipple. And just kind of blend it up onto this cheek. These are really pigmented, but really blendable and nice. I really like this blush. It's in a project pan as well. Almost all of these items are in a project pan. So, I love these faces that you make when you put on makeup, right? Aren't they pretty? All right. So, that's that. And then I'm going to take one more thing. I like a matte nose highlight. So, I'm taking that Ivory Lace highlighter from Chella again and just rubbing it right down the middle of my nose. All right. Then we're going to set all of this with the OFRA Banana Highlighting Powder. I know this is a highlighting powder, but it works for all over my face. Probably because I am more neutral to cool. You can use any powder you want. I'm panning this one, so I'm going to use it. And this is the Luxie Beauty Blush Brush in 514. It's got really long bristles, and so it just like very lightly deposits powder, and I really like the way that looks. So I do have some pan. That's why I keep having to go in there, because I have a lot of pan, so I'm not picking up as much as you would think. There we go. And then I like to just make sure that it feels all nice and dry, not tacky. So that, see, I mean, it's still there, but not really. As far as the, whatchamacallit, the cream cheek product. So now I need a bronzer. I think I've lost my Marc Jacobs bronzer, y'all. Which is really embarrassing. Because I've been wanting to play with it, but I don't know where it is. I don't know why it would be anywhere except for the bronzer drawer, because that's where it's supposed to be. That's where he lives. Well, oh, I found it, guys! Ka-chong! This is a little sample. I didn't like buy Marc Jacobs bronzer, y'all. This is the Me bronzer brush. This is the Marc Jacobs bronzer in Tantric. There's a little coupon code. I'm just gonna apply it right there. It is a little bit warm for a contour, if we're being honest, but it works. And then we're going to put it up in the hairline. Not in the hairline, but like right around there. And then I like to use this big Eco Tools brush. It's like flat paddly brush. And put it around my chin. And down my neck a little, just a little bit. Because I mean, I have a little bit of color for me. I'm not like super pasty, but it does have a little mirror. Cute little sample. So there we go. Then for highlighter on my face, I want to use Hippo, not the dog, but the Colourpop highlighter. And I really like to use it with this Luxie Pro Precision Foundation brush. I just kind of dip that in there. Oh, it's such a pretty highlighter. And then I just put, then we can see a spit on my nose. I love this highlighter, y'all. I think it's so pretty, but it's kind of natural, but also not. Again, it's the shade Hippo. It's great. And my dog's name is Hippo, so you know. And then for blush, I'll use this guy, which I have done a full review of. I'll link it below. It's the Paula's Choice Skincare Blush It On Contour. And I'm going to go in the shade Soft Mauve. These are really pigmented, so you have to have a light hand when applying. There we go. Beautiful. Now I'm going to take Ozone from Urban Decay. It's like one of those white lip liners in reverse lip line. I don't know, like sometimes this kind of looks actually white. So I don't really know how I feel about all that. Got itchy nose. And I guess we'll go into red today. This is the Revlon Matte Balm and Standout. It's so thick now that it's hard, like it's honestly kind of hard to use. And then I'm going to put a little bit of nude gloss over it. This is the Milani 3D Glitzy Gloss. Again, I don't want you to feel like you have to use any of these exact products. I'm going to put it just in the center there. So, let me take out my hair so it's like, oh, wow, look at you. That is the finished look. I really like it. I think it's pretty. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that whoever requested it is glad that I made it finally. And yeah, I love hearing requests. I've actually gotten requests for 2 other looks very, like, in short succession. So I'll be doing a few looks on my channel. I have a whole tutorial playlist if you want to see some other things. And I'm going to go ahead and leave my Project Panning playlist because, like I said, most of the items used here are in Project Pans. And yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. As always, please leave me any questions, requests, suggestions, comments. Go ahead and leave those down below. I love hearing from y'all. Talking to you is one of my favorite parts about YouTube, so feel free to leave whatever you want. And yeah, with that, I'll just see y'all real soon. Bye.